I'm here on the Raystown Branch of the Juniata River, and this happens to be an excellent choice if you're targeting panfish. There's lots of rock bass and bluegill out here. There's other fish too. Occasionally you'll get into some catfish or some smallmouth, but when it comes to panfish, it's pretty hard to beat this section of river. A lot of anglers like the feel of a heavy fish on the line, and that's true with me as well, but it's nice from time to time to go out and just catch a bunch of small stuff to take home to eat. Rock bass and bluegill are some of the best eating you can get, and occasionally I'll just like to go out and see if I can get a whole stringer full. When I'm fishing for rock bass and bluegill, what I look for is water that's about 3 or 4 feet deep, and I like plenty of structure on the bottom, so boulders and rocks or logs or things like that that the fish can hide under. And sometimes you can actually see the bottom and you don't see any fish there, but you'll be surprised how many fish you can pull out from underneath a rock. What I like to do is just use a wire stringer like this and just hang it off my belt loop. You have to get used to the fish kind of swimming around your legs a little bit, but it makes it handy because if you have to walk back to shore every time you have to hook one up, it can make things take a lot longer. I use a real standard setup when I'm fishing for panfish. On my main line I put a snap swivel, and then just above it I put a split shot sinker, and then I tie on a pre-snelled hook and leader. I use a size 6 or a size 8 usually as far as hooks go, and then usually I also put a bobber on the top. Now you don't always have to use a bobber when you're fishing for panfish. I like doing it to begin with because I can see where the fish are located. I can let the bobber drift downstream, and once I get it pinpointed where the fish are, then I can take the bobber off and fish a little closer to the bottom. The problem with that, of course, is you get a few more snags, but it can actually pay off and you can take home more fish. Well, I have 15 fish so far. That's about all my stringer can handle. So I'm going to go ahead and take these to shore and put them in the bucket, and then I'll see if I can fill it up again. I'm looking to catch 50 fish today. That's the limit here in Pennsylvania. Some of what I'm catching are pretty small, and so those I'll use for cut bait when I go for catfish on the Allegheny or the Susquehanna River. But then the rest of them I'll fry up to eat. Here I got one of those rare smallmouth bass that you pull in here, but it's only about 8 inches long, and Pennsylvania here it needs to be at least 12 inches to take home, so we'll toss him back in for another day. I use European night crawlers, and the ones I have here today are actually fairly small, but even then I actually only use half a worm. I just pinch it in half, throw one half of it out,